Hi and welcome to another drum video lesson with myself, Simon Brett from Kensington Temple, Discovered Berkshire Maestros and Ziggaband Drums and Percussion. Still working from the Drum Grooves book by Mr. Andy Leask, great book, and we're going to be doing some drum fills today. We're going to be doing drum fills in eighth notes, and eighth notes are still counted the same way as what you would when you're playing a groove, like we've been doing over the past couple of lessons. The first drum fill we're going to do is played all on the snare drum. It's really simple. It's a really good introduction to any drum fills. So we're going to be doing it all on the snare, alternate hands, so you go right, left, or strong, weak, strong, weak. Obviously if you're left-handed you would reverse it, left, right, right. And it's quite cool to practice some things kind of left-handed if you are right-handed and vice versa, because it's all about being really ambidextrous on the drum kit itself. So the drum fill is all on the snare drum and it goes like this. Let me demonstrate it. I'll do that one more time. Now you'll notice that I'm starting quietly and getting louder throughout the drum fill. This is called dynamics. It's a posh musical name for volume. So I'm using dynamics in the drum fill, starting quietly and getting louder. I'm also playing my bass drum. There it is. I'm also playing my bass drum with every right hand, which would work out to be every number. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you'll notice that it goes hopefully quite tight with the right hand, and it just adds a bit more weight. It adds a bit more bottom end to your drum fills. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to play 3 bars of an eighth note groove before it, and then the 1 bar drum fill. So we get like a 4 bar sequence, which hopefully should sound quite musical. Sort of like the thing you might hear in some of your favourite songs and stuff. So here we go, check it out. So what I did there was I did the 3 bars of an eighth note groove, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 times, and then my right hand came off the hi-hats and then onto the drum fill, onto the snare drum, ready for the drum fill. And I noticed that a lot of young drummers struggle sometimes with getting their right hand off the hi-hats onto the snare drum. Even though it's a very short distance as I look at it, it can be a real big chasm for some young drummers if they're not really used to it. So what you want to avoid is something like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, because you kind of lose the whole flow and the whole timing. So you want to get your right hand off the hi-hats, pretty sharpish onto the snare drum, ready to do the drum fill. Okay, here it is. Here's the drum fill again, but I'm now going to use the other toms on the drum set. We've got the high tom, the middle tom, and the floor tom. Tom 1, tom 2, tom 3. And because of their size, they're all pitched to a different note. So they kind of go lower in pitch as you go round them. I'm going to play the eighth notes drum fill on the toms. I'm also going to add the stepped hi-hat, remember that from last lesson. I'm going to add that onto the number 2, which is the first right hand here, and the 4, which is the first right hand here. So it goes 1 and step, and 3 and step, and. Okie dokie. So with the bass drum as well, it should sound like this. time. So you notice that beats 2 and 4 are rather tricky because not only am I playing the right hand with the hi-hat at the same time, but also the bass drum's in there. Or beat 4. So essentially I'm hitting 1, 2, 3 sound surfaces at the same time, and what you don't want is this kind of flamming where you've got different noises kind of at the same time but also not at the same time. You want to make sure they're really nice and clean and tight together. So, having said all that, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play 3 bars groove and then the first drum fill, all on the snare, 8th notes. Another 3 bars groove, but using the ride cymbal and the 4-way coordination that we looked at in the last lesson, and then that 8th note drum fill around the kit. So, yeah, here we go, let's check it out. So there you have it, 1 bar drum fills. I'm probably going to do another lesson on them because there's quite a few here that I'm looking at which sound pretty nice, moving into something called linear drumming, but we'll have a look at that in the next video lesson. But there you have it, 8th note drum fills. You count them exactly the same way as what you would count your drum grooves. And playing 3 bars groove, 1 bar fill equals our 4 bar phrase. And that's very musical. That's generally, you'll find that generally in most contemporary music. Great, well hopefully you got something from that, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Thanks for watching, bye for now.